welcome to my video taking a more mathematical look at the economics you look at both IB level and A level. It's hoped that this video might help you if, say, perhaps you're preparing for an Oxbridge interview, or alternatively you might just want a more in-depth understanding of the stuff that you guys are looking at in class. A full list of topics is appearing on your screen now. I will be covering these over the course of this video series, but in this video what I want to cover is solving for the market equilibrium in a demand and supply diagram. So you guys will have drawn hundreds of these diagrams where you have your downward sloping demand curve and your upward sloping supply curve, and this is in price quantity space. And what I want to do is relate this to your work on y equals mx plus c and straight lines, because ordinarily that's your y-axis, that's your x-axis, and if, say, you have an upward sloping line, remember, general form of the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, and if my line is upward sloping, then my coefficient on x, my gradient, is going to be positive. So this could be, say, y equals 2x plus 1. And then if I have a downward sloping line, the equation of this line might be, say, y equals minus 2x, and then say plus 8. Okay, so upward sloping line, you're going to have a positive gradient. Downward sloping line, you have a negative gradient and a negative coefficient on x. Now, relating this to your demand and supply diagram, we might, from our supply curve, and we can look at this in a more general form, but I'm going to give this a specific equation where instead of y, we have p for price. Okay, and because your supply curve is upward sloping, I'm going to say price is 2q. Okay, so I'm replacing my x with q here in my y equals mx plus c equation, and then say plus 2. And then from my demand curve, because my demand curve is downward sloping, you might say p equals minus 2q, say plus 10. Okay, so like I said, these are very specific equations. I'm putting a numerical value on my coefficient on q. I'm also putting a numerical value on my y-axis intercept, but you could equally have called your demand curve p equals, say, minus a q plus b, to leave that in all algebraic form. But now I have my two equations, my equation for my supply curve and my equation for my demand curve. I've got a system of two equations in two unknowns, and I can solve this system of equations and I can work out the value of each of those variables. Okay, so all I'm going to do is solve these simultaneously. So I have 2q plus 2, which is equal to p, but for my demand curve I also have my p is equal to minus 2q plus 10. Okay, so now moving my minus 2q over, I get 4q plus 2 equal to 10, 4q equal to 8, so q is equal to 2, so that's my quantity down here. And now solving for my price, all I need to do is substitute my value of q. I can substitute that into either my supply equation or my demand equation. Let's substitute it into my supply equation. So q equals 2 means that price equals 2 lots of q plus 2, which equals 4 plus 2, which equals 6. Okay, so there I've solved for my market equilibrium. I have a value for p and I have a value for q. Thanks for watching my video. Feel free to check out some of the other content available on my channel, or you can leave me a comment if there's anything in particular you'd like to see.